Hi, I'm Reiki Reverend, and these are my candid reactions and responses to the top 10 objections for Reiki. Number 1. Reiki conflicts with my religious beliefs. While this is perfectly valid and understandable, I would encourage anyone to take a deep look and understand for themselves what Reiki really means, and how it really works, and also how it could resonate with your current set of religious beliefs. Reiki by itself is a spiritual practice, though it is founded on principles like energy healing and higher sensitivities to energy. While it could go into places and realms that involve other spiritual beliefs or pantheons, it doesn't have to. Reiki is the channeling of the universal life force, which has many different interpretations. Holy Spirit and Holy Ghost are just two. You also have Ki, Chi, Prana, and these range from different belief systems. But the premise is the same, the life-giving force that is within us all. It doesn't belong to one particular religion, it belongs to everyone. That said, some people do encourage the use of angels and protective spirits. Some people do involve their own deities, whether that be God or God Goddess, in the multitudes. It just depends on you and how you receive Reiki in general. Because after all, you're channeling Reiki whether you know it or not. When you rub your hand on a certain place that hurts, when you send warm wishes to someone to feel better. These are just ways that we call on the universal life force to guide and assist us in many different ways. It doesn't have to be religious, but it is spiritual. Number 2. Reiki has no scientific basis or evidence to support its claims of efficiency. While some could say this is very true, Reiki has not, to my best understanding, had a dedicated study. There have been many studies on the effects of frequency and vibration and how it can create healing factors or healing opportunities for certain people. In fact, there are some methods of using frequency and vibration that have been that have been strongly studied and are professed to work very well. Reiki, as a form of energy healing, also operates on vibration and frequency. It's important that not only the practitioners of Reiki keep a high vibration or a high frequency so that they're able to create a clear channel for Reiki, but also to provide that same quality to the client or recipient. And in the recipient, it's important for them to pursue a higher vibration or a higher frequency that best aligns with their capacity to heal. Without these things, Reiki is not as effective. Number 3, Reiki is a placebo effect. While this can be understood, as I say, so mote it be, as I will it, let it be. The mind creates an aspect or element of reality, always. So, for one to say that Reiki in itself is a placebo effect is, in a way, right. But at the same time, why is it working? And why is it effective for some? These questions point towards a whole different spectrum of idea. Because if it was simply a placebo effect, I could say right now that I'm channeling Reiki, wave my hand, and the energy transfers, right? To a certain degree, I've willed it, so why doesn't it work? That's because I'm not intending for Reiki to work right now. Reiki works as you allow it to work, and as you intend it to work, and as you allow it to be received. So, by me intending to channel Reiki, Reiki begins to flow. By the recipient allowing Reiki to flow within them at a much more effective rate, because as I said before, everyone's constantly channeling the universal life force, whether they know it or not. It's a matter of intention that it improves in flow or dampens in flow. So if they want to receive Reiki, they're going to receive Reiki. from the outside source, outside channel of Reiki. If they don't, then they'll simply rely on their own flow of energy within the body, their own flow of universal life force. The effects work similarly, but through intentions and channeling all of that higher frequency or higher band of Reiki from another practitioner or from the source of Reiki, you're able to change the frequency, the vibrations of those subtle energies within your body. And this enacts a healing effect. Not just will or intention, but allowing that will or intention to manifest in the best ways possible. In that there isn't really a placebo as much as you are allowing for effects to happen. Number 4, Reiki is a waste of time and energy. Well, no, not at all. Like, that could be the same said as, you sitting in meditation. Some people get really impatient or don't understand the practicalities of meditation and doing that inner work. So I can totally understand where, they're coming from in that it's not for them. But at the same time, given the right opportunity, given the right chance, Reiki can work just as effectively as some other methods of energy healing. There are a lot out there, and most, if not all, can be understood to work under the scope and lens of Reiki, channeling and working with the universal life force inherent with all living things. Number 5, I don't understand how Reiki works. It's understandable. Not even a Reiki master really can explain the finer details of how Reiki can work. I mean, I can say it's based on vibration and frequency. I can say it's based on channeling from the universal life force. I can say that it's directed to your chakras, and through the chakras, the energy centers in the body that are related to different organs, vital functions, and facilities within the body. That beyond that, I mean, I could go into a spiritual journey right now, work with a client, and have a really excellent healing response that I couldn't directly explain, but to share what I bear witness to. And them, the recipient, share what they bear witness to. But the two acting simultaneously to create a strong explanation that could be given to any particular person and them have the same revelations or effects or understanding. It's not all the way possible. That is to say, the healing experience for one person's journey may be totally different from another person's experience, and to explain it in the same way kind of doesn't really play out the same in someone else's mind. You could say game recognizes game in that regard. Some people who practice Reiki will understand what's going on. Some people who've received Reiki can understand what's going on. To a larger degree, spiritual healers can understand what's going on in a session, can vibe with it, can understand. Some people can place themselves there mentally, spiritually, in the moment. But it doesn't take from the core. How does it work? It's a mystery, but it's a beautiful one. Kind of like life. 6, I'm afraid of Reiki. That's deep. If someone came to me saying they were honestly afraid of Reiki, I would first ask why. Why they were afraid of healing. I'd take Reiki off the table because Reiki is a channel of, healing energy. Why are they afraid of healing? Why are they afraid to heal? What is the worst probable or likely outcome that they could experience based on this? Whether it be personal dogma or trauma, or something more. I would ask for them to investigate that, and if possible, I'd sit with them, investigate it with them, to help them understand my perspective, and to help them teach me their perspective, so that we could work together to kind of create some type of conversation in the least, the solution in the best case. But that's a real thing. Some people are afraid to heal, and investigating those reasons sometimes can create the strongest healing outcomes, or even start a person on the path to healing. It may not even be involving Reiki. Number 7, I am uncomfortable with touch therapy. totally understood. Totally understood. Some people cannot be touched, and I respect that. This large reason why I work from a distance. I personally am uncomfortable touching other people. Am I trained to work with Reiki in the form of hands-on healing? Yes. Reiki, as it's taught in Reiki 1, is as a form of hands-on healing. But as you get higher in the degrees or the levels of Reiki, whatever your school of Reiki has taught you, that is to say, there's like either degrees or levels, and it can get complicated when you go that way. But either way, some people work only by touch with Reiki. Some people work only by distance, or only from a distance with Reiki. Most people who learn Reiki are taught how to use Reiki by hand as a channel or a funnel for that energy to work through. In that we're also able to learn how to understand sensitive responses in the subtleties in the body as you go through. So instead of receiving that information telepathically, mentally, you're able to understand it subtly as well through the hands. Some people who channel Reiki can feel what's going on in their own bodies as powerful empaths. That's part of what I do. But other people are able to sense within their hands. The hands themselves have their own chakra alignments and energy centers. So really, your hands can tell you a lot about what's going on with a client or with a recipient, but it doesn't have to be the way that Reiki is channeled. It can be channeled and worked in a multitude of ways. If you're uncomfortable being touched as a personal preference, a Reiki practitioner can work with a surrogate, like a teddy bear or something like that, or a picture to channel distance Reiki. But these are also tools to the Reiki practitioner. The Reiki practitioner only really needs thought, will, intention, like I mentioned earlier. 8. I don't know any qualified Reiki practitioners. And that's okay. Reiki is one of those things. To a large degree, it is an unregulated profession. Many people can learn, teach themselves, or work Reiki in a way that works for them, and never carry any paperwork, certification from any authoritative bodies or professional associations. I myself was first certified through teachers who went through a long lineage, but after a while I sought a degree of professionalism above questions about someone's lineage and such. So I went through an organization like the IARP, International Association of Reiki Practitioners. Then there's the RHP, Reiki Healing Professionals. There's a good number. William Rand has a professional organization as well. IACT, I can't remember right now, but there are many different ways for a Reiki practitioner to be understood on a professional level, whether that be through a higher certifying body, or whether that just be through their own subtle understanding of their own practice, and learning how to carry that practice with them over time through dedication, discipline, stuff like that. You get that type of professional reception based on the type of energy you put out. That being said, Reiki is still to a large degree an unregulated profession. So to say that someone's qualified or unqualified really just depends on your perception. Did they go to Japan and learn Eastern Reiki before they came over to the West? Did they learn Western Reiki from a practitioner on the street, from a book? Were they self-taught, self-initiated, self-attuned, or were they attuned through a professional body? Were they certified through a professional body to practice in multiple places? Were they able to show their work? These things all come out to play when it comes to professionalism and how strong and how long you're willing to look for a certified professional. It really just depends on you and your own personal perspective. 9. Reiki is too woo-woo or mystical for me. I laugh, but this is totally understandable as well. Like, for all the other reasons I mentioned, Reiki can be misinterpreted as something that's wholly esoteric and unfounded in the physical tangible. But there is a lot of history that says that that's not so much the case. Dr. Chujiro Hayashi, the second Grandmaster of Reiki, taught by Mikao Usui, Usui Sensei, depending on what your alignment with Master Usui is. Chujiro Hayashi learned how to create a more holistic sense of healing within the Reiki practice, not just channeling energy to create a better alignment within the chakras and the body, but also how to help the body keep these vibrations or develop better by changing habits and routine, eating healthier, doing healthier things, stuff like that. So a Reiki practitioner can do anything between channel Reiki to enact healing on the body, to do that and work out a detailed nutrition plan for you, or a detailed workout plan for you, or, suggest some things. Aftercare from a Reiki session commonly includes drinking water, eating light, resting, meditating, doing whatever the body is calling you to do in some cases to help clear those toxins out of your body more effectively. Reiki in some cases is just the start of your healing journey. It doesn't include the end, but a Reiki practitioner, doesn't have to be the end, but a Reiki practitioner may guide you along your healing journey with Reiki to help you enact the best healing possible. Number 10, Reiki cannot cure disease or replace conventional medicine. Absolutely right on the conventional medicine part. Reiki is a complementary healing modality, therapy in some senses. It is not intended to replace conventional medicine. In fact, it's meant to complement conventional medicine. In a lot of cases, Reiki can create opportunities for conventional medicine to help more effectively. As long as you're in good communication with your doctors, your medical team, Reiki can be a benefit or a boost to your health instead of it being a subtle replacement or a complete replacement to your regimen with your doctors or medical professionals. In fact, a lot of times when I'm working with clients who have pre-existing medical condition, whether that be mental or physical, I always encourage them to be in strong communication with their mental health team. If we're going to have a prolonged time where we're working together, if it's more than just 1 or 2 sessions, I do strongly encourage, especially in those situations, to be in communication with your care team. Hey, do you feel that Reiki can be of help in this situation? And in some cases, the doctors may say yes, and some they may say no. It just depends. At the end of the day, I never see a problem with pursuing a path of Reiki and getting help from a medical professional. Reiki can, in most cases, only help. There are only a few situations where Reiki may be of detriment, in that it may create opportunities for the mind to latch on to an unrealistic outcome involving them and their medication. It may lead to gaps or lapses in professional care. And these generally happen when someone attaches to the thought of being free from their medicine or being free from their doctor. But like I said before, Reiki is not intended to replace a doctor, replace medicine. It's only intended to complement those things. If your body, as a response to care in both senses, is then able to work off of the medication in good communication with your doctors, that's cool. But Reiki practitioners are not doctors. So there's no comparison there. Now, has Reiki worked to help out and cure disease? I would say so. There's documented proof that people have worked through cancer and things like that with the help of Reiki and guidance from their medical professionals. In any case, I do hope that this clears up a couple of objections for you and Reiki. If you ever have any questions for me, please feel free to let me know in the comments below or hit me up, reikireverend.com. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and catch you later.